G'day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning into today's very new video on YouTube. Today we're going to be going to Laguna Park in, well, let's just say, not far away from Klang, but it's more of like some sort of weird coastal river habitat thingy, whatever it's called. And yes, this was filmed in Malaysia during the greatest year on my YouTube channel, in my very humble and honest opinion so far of light, being 2024. Of course it is the greatest year that flip-flap has obviously felt like. And yes, it's basically like the Oppenheimer out of all years so far of late. Now yes, as I'm making this video, it's been quite a while that I actually haven't done any of these videos for a fairly long time. Now let me explain to you why. Of course, yes, as you may have noticed, I've actually been recently studying a program that's mainly in the form of CGI, 3D animating, and also video game stuff, and it actually functions so much better than Microsoft Paint, even though I feel like I'm missing Microsoft Paint. But yes, I am straightforward using Blender, which is like a 3D program software, and part of the reason why I haven't been uploading that much videos on YouTube was of course definitely the heavy use of Blender. Well, not that much, but it's actually more like a light use because I've just started using Blender. I might as well just throw in a program and then throw in some information later on in the video. But anyways, I want you guys to enjoy the whole video. And also, by the way, there is a lot of praying activity right here. So for those who are straightforward unaware of this, it also contains some Muslim praying sounds. So I better have to throw up this title here. Warning, this video contains sound effects that may disturb some people from a certain religious group. And as according to the YouTube community guidelines, you're not allowed to talk about any signs of discrimination, xenophobia, racism, discrimination, sexism, and of course disabilities and whatnot. So with that being said, enjoy the whole video and don't think about what I've just said. Thank you.
Continue on Labaraya Salah Klang for 3 kilometers.
And in my accentuated country, which is Australia, I would actually say kilometers. No surprise about that.
In 600 meters, turn left for Jalan Pereng, Route 103.
There's always this one sentimental shot, and I really can't help myself voicing over the whole video. And apart from the sat-nav, which is dubbed in an American accent, which is pretty much mundane, but meh, I get the picture. But hey, you know, there is something sentimental about going on road trips to Malaysia. It really wants to make you feel like that you're in a different country. But not only that, you just want to really visit the place even more so, just because of that taste and the weird elements that are not physically seen or physiologically seen in the UK. And that's something I really seem to really love at this point. So yes, as I'm voicing over throughout the rest of this whole journey, I've actually cleared out a lot of my dad's sister's voice, my uncle's voice, and so on. It's just amazing somehow that I've actually decided to get my privacy intact without spilling everything out. Okay, enjoy again, without all of the nonsense around here.
Slight left. The right 2 lanes to take the Route 181 Palabuhan Barat ramp to Pulau Indah.
So in the video making process so far, behind the scenes of it is just beyond so amazing. And I don't know why I really want to keep on voicing over for the fact that I can just sit the American accented sat-nav on top of my Australian accent, which really is going to annoy a lot of people, but hey, you know, that is who it is. But clearly, you know, I'm just straightforward voicing over for the fun of it, and I really don't know why.
battery for 6 kilometers.
And speaking of kilometers, look how fast the trucks are going. And it's amazing of just how fast or slow the trucks even seem to move. It's so amazing. Somehow I'm a bit of a truck buff for some reason, even though I don't seem to look that much in the way of trucks. Just as in birds or any other thing in general, it's just something I really like. I think seeing them trucks here really sort of makes me think of going back to the United States or Australia or even any other country which involves some trucks. I mean, truck culture is so different in Malaysia. Mind you, I would have actually expected someone to watch, you know, the latest frame of Disney Pixar Cars, and anyone who has been a fan of that franchise would have understood of what it was like to drive in one of those fantastic highways, including highways like this one that you're seeing on screen now.
Use the left 2 lanes to take the exit toward Pier and Pulau Luma. Continue for 2 kilometers.
Okay, as we are nearly approaching towards Laguna Park, I want you guys to be very clear that this is a Muslim-related country, so don't make fun of it and just straightforward have fun. Enjoy the whole video. So okay, I'm actually at Laguna Park today, and I've just been spotting a lot of amazing birds there at the place, and strangely enough we're passing by some restaurants. I'm actually heading to the jetty or the pier because I'm about to do some bird watching thingies. Up I go, right up here. I've just seen some crows, but guess what I've seen? A lot of wading birds. And it's quite close to an estuary because it's a transitional period between freshwater and saltwater. Amazing place. Oh, it's a fantastic pier with all sorts of, you know, things you could just pretty much see. It's a fantastic place. I think all of that used to be mangroves. Sadly, everything's all been cut down. But it looks cool somehow. And look, there's birds. One of them's taking a good wade. And there's some praying sounds in the background here. Ah, this is amazing. And right over here I can see like sand. I believe that is a former mangrove beach. Right over at the river. But I might as well just relax and watch the birds outside, hey? It's beautiful. And what's that? Mud skippers, swallows, and there's sparrows, and there's wading birds. How fantastic is that? And of course, yes, apart from the praying sound, we've got mud skippers, a lot of fiddler crabs, and wading birds. There's actually quite a lot of wading bird activity. Lots and lots of sandpiping birds. They all come here just to straightforward feed on lots of snails, mussels, worms, shrimp, and even like small fish. They'll just come here and just feed. And on the pillars is a collared kingfisher. And there's a heron that's just flying away, possibly little egret. Actually, it is. There are lots of wading birds, redshanks, and also I'm seeing plovers. I think it could be a different type of sand plover. Common sandpiper is also straightforward, very common in these areas too. It's straightforward, somehow quite fascinating, and the collared kingfisher is going for a bit of crab. The praying sound still happening in the background. Hopefully it won't give me copyright strike and stuff like that. And is that a tailor bird on the bush? It looks like it. It looks like it's straightforward on the middle. It's quite a beautiful small looking bird. I don't know if it's common or could be a different specimen. It's quite a beautiful species of bird there that's just straightforward like perching. But it's like almost unconscious because of whatever the hell is going on here. And there's a swallow. In fact, there were 2 swallows that were just straightforward moving and perching, pillar after pillar. And there's also a Brahmini kite hovering in the skies. Straightforward, I've just seen there's obviously about 2 of these birds just straightforward circling for prey. And the other side here is, I believe that is, of course, a tailor bird. I'd probably guess it's a common, or is it a different specimen? I can't really tell. There might be one or two. Straightforward. That is Laguna Park for you. And there's a wading bird. How cool is that? Red shank, probably. And of course, yes, there was a Bamini kite bird of prey that was just hovering. There's actually quite a lot of mud skippers and crabs here. Possibly fiddler crabs. Praying sound has gone back already now. It's almost like the whole audio has taken over the whole footage. It's pretty embarrassing, but actually quite good. And speaking of good, I'm always straightforward, very certain to know that my YouTube channel allows certain cultures and certain people from different religions, backgrounds, different sexes, I like to call it. That's the thing. My YouTube channel is straightforward, multicultural. And there are a couple of crabs which look like they're straightforward fighting, but I can't really tell if they are fighting or not. As I'm looking around, there's just so many different mud skipper species, like the giant mud skipper. In fact, there's actually quite a lot, to name a few. Well, it's quite an interesting display here from the common sandpipers. I wonder what these two are up to. Are they like mating, or are they actually fighting? I don't know if they're doing like some sort of weird courtship ritual display. They're just doing this just in preparation for the next year, which is when they will start breeding, leading up to the next spring. They'll straightforward be waiting for. Mud skippers are really capable of crawling, especially when they're on land like this. It's just somehow interesting to look at, of just how chronically interesting they're just moving. They just move so bizarrely, but they're quite fascinating critters. Looks like this one's going back to the water already again. And actually, thank goodness, it's also low tide to this river here as well. Now, because it's straightforward part of an estuary, it's straightforward home to mud skippers, wading birds, and crabs. And that used to be an old mangrove forest, which sadly has been cleared off. But people have already started planting them, so that's actually quite a good thing to really see. The mangrove forest will take years to restore, but it won't be that bad, I'm sure about that. Oh yes, I've just noticed there's a koi carp fish aquarium inside. Lots of goldfish and other fishies like that. They're all inside, like so. Beautiful things with a nice looking waterfall like that. Quite artificially done, but very good in its way. Lovely rock waterfall. Very rocky, quite artificially made, but very beautiful. Lovely fish inside, especially some big ones right here. There you go, there's someone's boat right here. Obviously it's very close to a river, you can just see why. It's just quite a fantastic little scene. And also to come here during winter is actually fantastic, because I don't have to really deal with such very cold weather back home in England, and that's why I'm being like one of these migratory wading birds. They all stop here as a bit of refuge. Amazing. The other side here is straightforward, clearly a lot more noisy. Stray dogs, crows, and also a bus. Straightforward, it's what you would normally classify as like a little kampong urbanised village, or a town as I like to call it. And as I've just been walking around, it's a good sign of just how much wildlife you can just see here. It really is quite fantastic. you could just straightforward stand back and watch those little egrets. Just straightforward hanging around, just literally lounging around, obviously. There's 3 of the little egrets here. And as I can just watch the whole mangrove in action, there are little egrets. And clearly with the mangroves being demolished, it's not looking good. That's a sign of climate change. And as you take all these little forests away, this is a great consequence of what humanity is going to suffer from. And so will Mother Nature, including this. Yes, it never stops. Genuine plastic waste persists on, and it doesn't seem to stop. I don't know exactly why. Straightforward, it's a developing country, but there's no shame after all. It's actually quite a lot of mud skipper action right here. It's amazing. Completely and utterly amazing. And because it's so close to the sea, you can definitely see why it's so transitional between fresh water and salt water. It's actually somehow a fantastic sight to see. Beautiful mangroves, sadly being destroyed by the axe and the reckless, painful, consequential acts that we have destroyed so much of this whole mangrove forest. That shall be straightforward, be rejuvenated by regeneration. And there's a lovely dragonfly here. How beautiful is that? Lots and lots of different birds come here. It's amazing. And I'm also walking by what looks like to be a mixed bush or hedge of these flowers and also some hibiscus. Bongaraya, that's what's also known in Malay. It's amazing that these bits of vegetation also help aid to prevent the coast from being submerged underwater. And it's also important to see why these mangroves would have been the straightforward, significant reason why we humans must have destroyed it in the first place. Apart from the fact that we're seeing a little egret, that's a good sign. But of course, yeah, seeing all of this destruction, going by the looks of this habitat, well, we're straightforward compromised. And once again, speaking of compromise, look how much plastic waste. Nothing seems to stop. It's just far, far beyond too slow to react or whatever the hell is going on here. And clearly, whoa, that is a giant bee of some sort. That's massive. That's huge. It's amazing of what wildlife you can just spot anywhere throughout these amazing little estuary type areas, apart from some persistent and ongoing waste, which really puts the place into deep amounts of shame. But of course, yes, it is quite a very fantastic place. Laguna Park, be it a yay or nay. Strangely enough, I didn't expect to see wading birds, especially during the Northern Hemisphere winter or the Southern Hemisphere summer. Oh, let me show you what these flowers are. I found what these are. These are sensitive plants, and if I touch one of these, the leaves will start to straightforward fold themselves. Look, they're very shy looking plants. Look, I can just change leaves and stuff too. Look at that. If I kick them all, wow, look how they just magically transform. It's just a fantastic plant to just see. Quite amazing, clever transformation them things. The sensitive plant, or the sensitive flower. How awesome is that? And there's also quite a lot of extra riverbanks and stuff here too. You can actually see there's a lot of wading bird action right there as well, be it redshank or sandpiper. There's actually quite a lot of that. Even outside of the river itself, there are also birds that also traverse throughout this park right here. It's utterly amazing, and I might as well have a look at the jetty or the pier, because I really want to see if I can get a good scope
of whatever wading birds I might be able to see and spot. It's amazing. Just beautiful. And the praying sound from the mosque has straightforward stops because I think praying time is over. I think in Malaysia we have, it's like that in the Islamic world. We always tend to have like 5 times a day. We seem to pray about 5 times, obviously, depending on what time zone that you're in. And there's quite a lot of wading birds here. It's a slightly bigger gathering of birds right here, but not as big as Jeram or Sekinchan, because it's actually quite a relatively smaller-ish type of place. I don't think there's any other birds that would also reside here. It's a fantastic place. Oh my crockies, just how beautiful is that? And for those who haven't really been straightforward interested, then look at that. These are the different birds that you can spot in Malaysia. I think I've seen this bird here, this bird. Yes, I think I probably have seen these 7. This one here, no, I don't think I've seen it. Yes, I have. Definitely yes. I've probably seen this bird before, but I don't think I've featured it. Yes, I have. This one here, yes, I have. Yes, I think I have this. I think I've seen this so much, obviously. Too common. Same with the minor birds. The Indian common minor bird and the Java minor. Magpie robin, yes, I've seen it. Oh yes, scaly-breasted munias. I heard these guys and that guy there. And also this bird here. If I bring out these 3, they've been introduced to Australia. Along with this bird. Obviously, I've seen so many of them back home in England. Yes, obviously the Java minor, I've seen way too many of these birds. They're too bloody ubiquitous as those crows and those sparrows and those bloody pigeons, especially these ones. These 2, they're fairly common. White-breasted water hen. No, I don't think I've probably seen that. Well, yes, I have actually. I've seen it twice, but not that often. One during my first trip to the Eco Ardent's house after dropping off from the airport, and on my way to Cyberjar. It's amazing. And these 2 Taylor birds. I might have seen the Ashley Taylor bird before, but can't really remember. But I think the one I've seen so far in the video is the common Taylor bird. Or it could be a different specimen. I can't really tell. Definitely seen these 2 species of sunbirds. Probably the olive-backed sunbird and the brown-throated sunbird, but I believe it's now called the ornate sunbird for some various ornithological reasons. Yes, I've seen the little heron. It's also known as the striated heron. Let me just straightforward go around the pier. I'll do a jump cut. And there's actually quite a lot of giant mud skippers around here. I can't really see which one's the biggest. I can see, wow, there's just so many crabs right over at this mudflat estuary. I can't really tell. Yeah, this pier is actually straightforward, nicely built, but I think the flooring on the wood flooring on this is just quite delicate. I'll have to just, look at this. That's probably death zone. The wood over here, I think someone must have destroyed the fencing like that. Probably a nasty storm that has probably destroyed it. Or some vandal who has decided to, kick the whole place into smithereens. I don't know, that's not a good sign seeing that. Just both sides of it, that's just pretty ugly. I might as well just move along. And strangely enough, I did see a giant mud skipper. But I tell you what, the flooring, and I can really perceive this. This is really, really delicate. I have to say, the flooring on this is absolutely bad. And wow, what is that bird? That is, I thought it was a seagull at first glance, but that is a tern. That is something I rarely ever see. Wow, I wonder what specimen of tern was that. Quite amazing. I'm a bit confused. I'm pretty sure it could be a Caspian tern, maybe gold-billed, or I can't really tell. I think Caspian's the biggest, or it could be a greater crested or a lesser crested tern. I can't really tell what specimen it actually is. It's actually quite a much more bigger species of tern. I've never ever seen that before. And there's actually quite a lot of terns that are already coming into fish. There you go, there's actually quite a few of them. We've got whiskered tern. There's actually quite a few more of these birds. There's actually so many of these guys coming into the tidal river itself. It's such a massive estuary. When you see that, it's quite massive. there's so many of these birds. You can just see them diving into the water for food. It's not that very clear, but it's straightforward a very fantastic view. They're actually viewed at a further distance ahead. Not sure if the aspect ratio is going to compromise. Wow, I think I can just see a few of them. No, I don't think these are whiskered terns. I think these birds are little terns. Probably the first time I've seen them. I would have been much happier if I saw them at a breeding colony somewhere in the UK. But there you go. These are little terns. Fantastic specimens. And the musk sound is kicking in again. And strange enough, I wonder what that big tern is. I have no idea what that is. Is that a Caspian? I can't really tell. Could be one of the crested terns. I don't know. Quite amazing. I've seen some terns right over at this part of the river right here. It's just amazing. And the musk is relatively loud as heck. It's just so horrific. Yeah. It's just too bad. Too bad, mate. Too bad. It's actually taking over the whole video. Yep. Maybe, who knows, YouTube could probably block this with the background noise. And this is why Malaysia is so busy. I think I've spoken to a gentleman before about 30 years beyond. Totally overwhelming. It's one of them things that you just can't resist. Yeah, check this out. Look at the middle. Whoa, I can't believe it. What is that bird? I might as well just have a look at what's going on here. You can just see how fragile this pier is. Mind you, if a tablet just fell over there, goodbye good riddance that is, I have to say, eh? Look how straightforward bad this is. Yeah, the wood, not really good for a pier. That's pretty horrible. Look at that, eh? This thing will just fall off at any moment. Yeah, straightforward, very delicate. You can really feel it here. That there to me almost looks like some sort of lagoon. Strange enough, how the heck did I just teleport? My goodness me. I never expected just this, and also this, to be around here. It's so massive for a walk. Well, I think it's probably best is that I'm actually going to sign off this whole video, because, hey, clearly, you know, the whole video must straightforward come to an end, because, you know, I'm about to do other stuff, and there's some terns that are already fishing. Strange enough, I thought they were whiskered terns. I think whiskered terns are a little bit bigger, so I think these birds are little terns, something I've never ever seen before. They're quite beautiful specimens. Anyways, I'm about to straightforward hold off this video here, because I might as well just straightforward head out to somewhere else. I don't know. But if you really enjoyed this video, please give this video a good like and subscribe for more videos in the future. As always, could this be the last of my video filming in Malaysia? I don't know what I would really say here, but could this be my last time in here? I don't know. In Malaysia, of course. Well, definitely not for the rest of my career, but for Malaysia, of course. Up until whatever year I might be back. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. And I know that I won't be around here for much longer, because, hey, clearly, you know, this is just a video that really straightforward suits my career so much. Anyways, I better sign off here, and I gotta go. Thanks so much for watching, as always. Bye for now.